Hi, so welcome to another video in this series where I try to reduce my TBR pile to zero. For the last video of this series, I said that I will be reading the books that I received for my birthday, and I only had 3 left. So Conversations with Friends, which I featured in the previous video, and Song of Achilles and House in the Cerulean Sea. And good news is I loved the Song of Achilles. I really enjoyed it. It was worth the hype. And on the contrary, The House in the Cerulean Sea was a bit disappointing for me, which is unfortunate because a lot of people love that book. Let me talk about them briefly. Okay, Song of Achilles, it's a Greek retelling, but don't let not having knowledge about Greek mythology stop you, because it's entirely readable even without knowing those myths, the legends of the people and the characters, the settings that are being mentioned in that book. So it's actually pretty fun if you don't know any Greek myths, because if you don't, then you would be surprised of the things that will happen. Also, when going into this book, expect lyrical, beautiful writing, because that is what Madeline Miller did. And it shows that it took her 10 years to write this book, because obviously it's such a masterpiece. During reading, don't be afraid of not being able to retain every single name, remember all the settings, and who's the king of what. I don't really think that matters. You just have to focus on the main character, Patroclus and Achilles. So that is just a brief overview of the Song of Achilles and what to expect. I did not expect it to hit me that way as much as it did. There's a whole reading vlog on me reading the final chapters. The main theme is actually glory and trying to attain the glory that was promised to you by your destiny. So Greek mythology is all about prophecies, who's going to be the greatest fighter. So trying to attain glory, and also hubris or pride, which is so central to the tragic thing that happened towards the end of the book. I really like that. Reading about it makes you really understand the downfall of humans is when their pride is very high up there. So there's also another theme where there are comparisons of different parents and how they show their love and care for their children, if any. So our main character, he has a very shitty father. He was very horrid, but he still was able to become a very wonderful person. And Achilles was very sheltered, very loved by his king father and goddess mother. And there's also the thing that weaves together that parental love and glory. At what extent are you going to sacrifice something in order to attain that glory? I really love the Song of Achilles. 5 stars. Okay, now let's move on to the second book, The House in the Cerulean Sea. As I said, it was very disappointing that I did not like this. I think coming from Song of Achilles has dampened my appreciation for this book. The writing felt a bit amateurish. It almost put me in a slump. Towards the 70% mark of the book, I was feeling it. Slump was tapping me on the shoulder. When I was feeling that tap on my shoulder, I immediately picked up Room by Emma Donoghue. So I read a couple of pages and I was brought back to life. When I know that the slump is not gonna come for me, then I finished this book. It's about an orphanage. A caseworker visits. He is trying to investigate this orphanage if it's still worthy of staying open. There was a burning secret, but the intrigue was not sustained throughout the whole book. This has been a miss for me, unfortunately. Yeah. See you next time.